Okay, today I'd like to go over Ubuntu 12.0 for long-term support Unity. I'm going to cover the dash home, the launcher, workspaces, menu use, system settings, the menu buttons, the head-up display, update manager, Ubuntu Software Center, and Ubuntu Help. First, this is the dash home. This is where you can find software either by searching for it or by going directly to different categories of software. If I search for it, say I want to find an editor, I have type in edit in the search. It brings up any applications with edit in the name or in the description. When I'm searching in all these different categories that are shown down here. This is my recent apps and my recent files. If I want to actually search only in applications, then I select the applications icon below. I can search my applications for edit, and there they are. It gives me installed and available for download. I can also simply browse through my applications. I will see my recently used, my installed, and available for download. These are my installed applications. I can just browse through that and see what applications are there. This will let me search files and folders. Again, I can scroll down and see more. Music and video. And you notice that every time I click a new category, I will search that category. Click outside of the search to get rid of it. Now I'm going to go over the launcher bar. This is the launcher. You notice that various applications are saved here so that you can easily access them. If you want to add an application to the launcher, you can go find it. I'm going to find Update Manager, and then I drag and drop it onto the launcher. Now it's available anytime I want it. If I want to remove it, right click on it, unlock from launcher. Now this is the excuse me, I also wanted to show you the trash, which is obviously where you would drag files onto the trash icon and they would go here. You could then empty the trash just like on any other operating system. It's an easy way to retrieve things you didn't intend to throw away. This is the workspaces icon. It gives you the ability to have several workspaces running at once. You could do some text editing on this one. You could bring up a browser on this one, and you would simply have a way to have a full screen application on various workspaces. The menu is application sensitive. Right now you notice that I'm in the text editor. It's the highlighted icon on the launcher and it's highlighted on the menu. If I mouse over the menu bar, I have these options. You'll notice that I can also access these actions through shortcuts. Control N will bring up a new document. Control O will open the file browser to find other documents, etc. I can also, while I'm in this application, hold down the Alt key, then I press the underlined key to bring up that menu. Hit Escape to get out of it. Now I'm going to go over the system settings. I'm going to go over background, display, details, and user accounts. That can be accessed here, or I could go here if I didn't have the icon on the launcher, type system, and it would show up there. I can also access that from here. So there's the system settings. If I go on to look at the background, it's a single click. Now you can see that I've chosen this as my background. I can change themes here. I can set up wallpapers, change the behavior of various things. To get back to all settings, I simply click all settings. If I want to change my display, I can change the resolution. I can rotate it. If my monitor rotates, and then I can change the rotation of the screen. Details shows information about the software version of the operating system, the memory, processor, graphics, 64-bit OS type, and disk. I can actually install updates from here too. I'll go over installing updates later. This will allow me also to set my default applications for web, mail, calendar, music, video, photos, and these are the chosen applications. This will allow me to tell the operating system what to do with removable media. This is a virtual machine, so there's really not much for graphics. And finally, user accounts. This is where you can control who can access the system. I can manage my own picture, my own name, my language, and change my password. This will allow me to just generate random passwords, which would be nice, except that's very difficult to remember. This allows me to get help on how to choose a strong password. If I want to add other accounts, you'll notice I can't do it. I have to unlock the user accounts. I'm forced to authenticate to ensure that I'm an administrator and have the rights to do this. Now I just add this person. And I'm going to make this person a standard user. And I would like to change that to just B. Smith. I'm going to create his account. Now I have the ability to change the picture. I could change the name here. I could change the account type, change the language. I want to enable the account, so I'm going to set the password now. I could allow him to log in without a password, and I can enable this password or this account. If I set the password, I'm using password, which it tells me is weak. In fact, that I didn't, I misspelled it up here. So if I show the password, it still says it's weak. However, I could choose one of these, or I could learn how to make it a stronger password. I'm going to keep this password because I'm going to immediately delete this account. Okay, the account is now active. So if I want to delete this account, notice that I can't do anything to that account until I unlock again. Now I can delete this account, and I have the choice of deleting the user's files or keeping them. I'm going to delete them, and I've just deleted that account. We're going to lock that thing back up and go back to all settings. That's all I wanted to show you on the settings. Now I'm going to go to the menu buttons up here on the right. This is the device button. It allows me to get to system settings, displays, which I've shown, startup applications, available updates, printers, lock the screen, log out, suspend the system, or shut down. This is the user group here. I can switch to a different user. I can go to a guest session, which has very little privileges. And once I do that, I can come back to my own, which I would be forced to enter my password in. I can also access the user counts application, which I just showed you. This is the time center. It gives me the time. I can see the day in a calendar. Here's where I would set the time settings. I am currently using the Denver time location, and I'm automatically updating from the internet. This allows you to change the ability to show the clock in the menu bar. I can change to add. Notice that the clock changed now to add Wednesday. I can add the date and month, Wednesday, December 4th, 10 o'clock. I can change it to a 24-hour. I can show the seconds. I can show the monthly calendar, include the week numbers, various settings there. This is the sound center. I can mute the speakers, I can change the volume, and I can actually run music right from here. I can also change the sound settings, which is in all settings. Again. This is the network center. I have a wired network connection. I can disconnect, I can set up VPN, I can enable or disable the network. I can get some connection information like my IP address, my interface, and I can actually edit the network connections by selecting this, editing it, and changing various settings. There's my MAC address. I can change the max transmit unit. I can change the name of this connection. I can set my IP addressing. And finally, we have the communications center. This is for IM, for chat, and for mail. Also, I'd like to show you the head-up display. The head-up display allows you to search a specific application for its menu items. If you just tap the Alt key while you're in an application, you'll notice that I'm going to search in the editor application icon. So if I want to know how to save in this application, it will tell me, oh, you go to the file menu, save item. If I want to know how to print, file print. Not so useful with the editor, but if you have an application that has many menus, it could be very useful. I'd like to go over the Update Manager. I don't have the Update Manager loaded here. However, I can get to it from here. Updates available. This shows me what updates the system knows about for my software. This is various applications that I have installed and could use. This will just give me a description of the changes and just various information about that specifically selected item. However, I want to show you the settings here of the updates. This is default. Important. It wants to install updates from important security updates, recommended updates, and unsupported updates. It will automatically check for updates daily. When there are security updates, I prefer to download and install automatically. However, you may want to display them, download them, or install automatically. When there are other updates, you can display weekly, display immediately, or display every 2 weeks. Now, if I wanted to upgrade my operating system from 12.04, say, to 13.04, This is where notify me of new Ubuntu version. For long-term support versions, I could go for any new version, or I could never check for version updates. That's a little bit about the updates. I can also just click on this and install all checked updates. Now I'd like to go over the Software Center, which by default is here on the launcher. You click the Software Center. This is all software that's available in the Ubuntu repository, and obviously you can go through and look at various available software, and you have different categories. I'm also wanting to see what's installed on my system. If you notice that there's a green checkbox, that means it's installed. I could also search for software, just like I could in the dash home, and it will show me what's available and what is installed. If I wanted more information about this, I could click on the more info. Then I can actually also remove the software. So that's a little bit about the Software Center. And finally, Ubuntu Help. You can go here, type help. You can also go click on the desktop, get its menu up, and go to help here. And then this is an excellent text-based guide to using Ubuntu. And that's all I'd like to cover today.